Philip, you let me know how we go about this. I cannot hear you. Oh man, this is. Hold on, hold on.
No, I was muted. I was muted. I
Oh,
wasn't.
you were just.
So yeah. Guys, when you're not just speaking, just please mute. If you can turn on your camera, get notes, pen and paper, drop the distractions, and we can start in a minute. So we have our special guest for today, Mr. Paulo. Tell us a little about you and how did you start in this crazy journey?
Okay, I'll give you the long story short one, and then we can dive into the whatever you want. But I started trying to build my own business in Spain. I'm from the Canary Islands, Spain. It didn't work for 2 years. 2 years, like banging my head against the wall. And it's not that I stumbled upon remote closing. I was trying to do my own business. I was like, oh, this is remote closing. These people here closing deals. Okay, fine. I'll let them do their thing. But for me, it was like I want to build a consulting business. I want to build my own business, right? But I never paid that much attention until I was at that situation in my business where I was like, man, like this is not working. I've tried everything under the sun. What the hell? And I don't know why. So for some reason, I started to, just pay attention to those guys. I had a couple of guys in my network that they were closers, and they were just like, just watching their social media. I was watching their Instagram. I was seeing them in some Facebook groups back then, and they were just saying some weird numbers. It's like 10K, 14K, 20K in commissions, and I was like, dude, like these guys, they don't even have a business. They're making more money than I am making. Even I remember once I made 12K with my consultancy, but I was running ads and I was just like in the reds. It's like these guys are making 12K, 15K in commissions, like no ad spend, like no shit. And I was like, all right, maybe I have to look into this. I have to look. I have to. And then I was like, then for me it was like, fuck, man, oh my goodness, what I've been doing, and then the rest is history, so to say.
Nice. And when you started out at first, like, what you wish you knew when you started, man?
What I wish I knew, well, like if I could talk to that Paulo like 5 years ago, and just give him like some advice like this, just like, hey bro, I would say don't build your own business, bro. Like you want to build your own business you want to become like this huge thing and blah 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 and massive business owner, great, but just don't start there. If you want to learn how to climb, don't go straight into Mount Everest. You can die. Okay, like it's dangerous. So, that's one of the things. Like now, of course, I would say more things, but strategically, I would say that more from a mind's perspective, I would say keep going, keep believing in what you believe. Like everything that you are believing, everything that you're creating in your mind is true. Don't listen to the other voices. I would just say that's it. Everything you think there is true. It will become real. Just keep going. Don't listen to the other voices. Just
And
that validation.
And how was, a lot of people here are not from US, like coming from Spain. How was you, getting with all those US guys? How was that experience?
So it was, you can call it like a good, you can call it like a good, good or bad. It really doesn't matter. What matters is the utility that one experience had in me. And what happened was that when I was looking to get into remote closing, one of the persons in my network was a successful remote closer, and his English was horrible, like horrible, And I was like, man, I can learn. My English is bad, but I can be better. It's just like I can be better, and I can even be better than this guy. And this guy is making already 10, 12, 15K per month, right? And then there was another guy as well that was what is it? Is it from Scotland? Scottish? Or no, from Ireland, from Ireland. And I was like, what is this guy saying? Like, I can barely understand this guy. And then I was like, if he's closing with that accent, like, dude, like, what am I? You know what I mean? I was like, there's gotta be like, I can do it. I can do it, man. It's just sales. It's just one thing, you know? So and again, my accent was horrible. Like, it really was. But I was like, I can get better at this. I can have better accent. I can have better connection. You know, I was like, yeah, I had some experiences that, you know, allow me to see what was possible, even with the bad accent.
And
You
what did
know,
you do to practice your accent?
what did I do to practice my accent? Action, just talking in English, surrounding myself with everything in English. So my phone is in English. Everything that I consume is in English. Everything that I put in my brain is in English. All the books that I learn is in English. Like the people here that I speak to, of course, it's Spanish. But when I have to consume something, I always default to English because like I want to immerse myself into that. The best thing would be just moving to the US or something like that. That would be really cool. I've considered that, you know, definitely, because it's like there's no way, you know, there's no way I cannot be good at English in that sense.
And what would you say now in 2025? What is the biggest mistake that young closers are making and generally remote sales reps?
There are a lot. You want me to just say one?
We have time. Just one by one.
Well, the one I think one of the biggest mistakes is just seeing it as a job. Just seeing remote closing as a job. Like if you in your day to day in your career, you say I'm looking for a job opportunity, you're limiting yourself. If you just use the word job in this career, automatically you are here and you are in disadvantage. I don't use it. Like I just straight. You're not landing a job. You're landing a client. You are a one client done for you sales agency. That's what you do. That's who you are. Or you can still keep thinking that you're landing a job. That's up to you.
That's a big one. What else? What else you got? Feel free.
Discomfort. You know, comfort. When I started my career, I prepped myself and I shoot it for a closing position, for a closing role. Of course, we call it closing position, closing role, right? But I started as a setter. Okay, I got started as a DM setter. Yeah, so I started from the bottom, and then I just started, you know, going into the next level, into the next level, into the next level. And a lot of the people that started with me to this day, they're just either far away, they're doing something else, they're still setters, right? And the reason why is because they just settle. They settle. I'm making 5K commissions as a setter. Fine. And the first month that I made 5K per month in commission as a setter, for me was like, okay, cool, let's keep going. You know what I mean? The first month that I made 10K commissions, I was like, yes. You know, I told you, Paulo, you could do it. Now the next thing, let's keep going. You know, it was like it was never the destination, and it still isn't the destination, right? And you and I have talked about, you know, vision and goals and whatnot, but yeah, like if you shoot, it's like what they say, right? If you shoot for the stars, then your chances to get into the moon is just like very, very high. But if you shoot into the moon, you might never get there. So comfort, man, like it's insane, like the level of comfort. Like I am training a team right now. Um, and I'm saying this because it's very top of mind. It's very relevant. I just came from an event this month in the Netherlands with them as well, and they are doing collectively 2 million a month. Okay, 2 million a month in cash. There are 11 closers. All right. And the best closer is making 30K per month, and the worst closer is making 7K per month in the same team, same environment, same leads. How is that even possible? Standards. It's like what is each person shooting for? One is just shooting for 10K maybe. The other one is like, I'm going to build my own sales team under this company. That's why I need to make 50K so I can invest in an EA, I can invest on an appointment setter, I can invest in an operations person, someone that can build my tracking, someone that can help me with recruiting, because I'm going to build a team under me. So 30K is just the beginning. It's going to fund the next thing. Not sure if that makes sense.
Makes sense for me. What about you guys? Drop one in the chat if it makes sense, and two if it doesn't.
Yeah, of course. Like if you have questions or you're getting lost, you let me know. Let me see.
What did you do with your first 10K commission check?
Nothing, man, nothing. I didn't celebrate it.
Why
Yeah,
not?
because it was like, what's celebrate? You know what I mean? It's just like, for me, it was like, okay, let's keep going. Like this is just, and that's one of my weaknesses. Don't get me wrong, 100%. Like one of the reasons, one of the main things that my life partner really helps me with is this. I live in the future. She lives in the present. So she's sort of like that cable to me to say, hey, just look at what beautiful day in the Canary Islands is today. Just take some sunlight. You know what I mean? It's just like, enjoy the present, smell the roses. You know, because if it was for me, it's like I'm always in the future in that sense.
It's a good combination to have. And how are you worked mainly with the US offers at the beginning, right? Or was it UK?
No, I started. Well, no. My first offer was a European marketing agency. Then my second one was a Airbnb from the US. The founder was from Texas. Then I had another one in the US as well, and then the fourth one, which was the offer. If I'm not mistaken, it was the offer that to make things for me. Like I took off in that one. Was a European guy. Bastian Slot, appointmentsetter.com.
Yeah. And how did you manage your time working, with the Texas leads and all around the US? What are some of your go-to tips for that? I know a lot of people, especially in Europe, Asia, Australia, they struggle a lot.
You say that again? You say that again? Sorry.
How did you manage your time working for US offer, you being in the European time zone?
So for that offer that I was working for, the Airbnb offer, I didn't work. I wasn't working there for a lot of time. It was like very short. But here, my afternoons are their mornings, right? In Spain, in Europe, and so that's what I arranged a deal where I was like, hey, I will just be from the morning all the way from 2 p.m. or something like that. So I had that ability because the founder did the interview with me, so my style, and was like, your style is different than mine, but I like it. And I was like, yeah, and it's better. It's better than yours, man. That's why I'm coming here. So he gave me that flexibility. That was good. You don't always have that opportunity, especially when you're in a factory type of offer. I call it like that, where it's like, we have a plug and play system, we have teams, you just gotta go here, you just gotta do that. Then there, in those offers, you have less flexibility.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. And tell me, let's say you were about to start again in 2025. Like, what would be your first 4 steps? You want to be a top closer.
Can you say that again?
Let's say you wanted to start again, like from scratch, being a top closer in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your, like, knowing what you know now?
Mm-hmm.
what would be your first 3-4 steps?
You know, one of the things that I don't have regret about, or one of the things that I'm proud of, is that when I decided to get into remote closing, I did it with the mindset of learning from someone who was already there, right from the beginning. And it made sense, right? Because I came from spending 2 years trying to build my own business from scratch without any kind of help, like me just, you know, banging my head against the wall. Right? So I was like, no, this is not like I am, especially like, you know, with my English and no connections, no nothing. It's like, no, I need to invest in a mentor. I need some help here. So if I had to start again, that's what I would do. You know, I would just say, okay, who is here crushing it? Someone that can help me, that I can, you know, I like his style. I always say this, you know, and this is something that I did for myself as well, because in the past I did some investments, and some work and some didn't. So I learned from the ones that didn't work, and I came up with a filter. And this is my filter, okay? And I use this as well in my calls for objection handling. I use it, so you can use it as well because it's useful. So my filter is: has this guy achieved what I want to achieve, right? Like, I want to be a basketball player. Well, has this guy playing in the NBA? Yes. Good. Next criteria. Is there proof out there that this guy can transfer his skills to someone else? No. Then fuck it, next. Because if he's good, but he doesn't have the ability to transfer his skills to someone else that it wasn't in a similar situation than me, that doesn't help me. Like, this guy cannot help me. There's no proof of that. Next, right? Now, if the answer is yes, there's proof. There's client results. There's you know, case studies. Okay, in this case studies is from people that came from zero, that were in a similar situation than me, or just like people that, you know, born in a golden, how do you call it, like in a golden bed or whatever, right? It's like, no, like there's proof that people from zero or from Europe or from your situation have been able to achieve the outcome. Okay, great. That's the second one. Just three, nothing crazy, just three-point criteria. And the third one is, do I like this guy? Like, do I like the way he communicates? Do I like the way he communicates with his clients? Do I like the way he sells? Right? Do I resonate with this guy represents as far as vision, mission, values? Because in the past, I spent 6K in a coach that I didn't like. Okay. I'm not gonna name names just to avoid the gossiping and all that, but it was like, it's very well known in the industry. But I was like, this was my train of thought back then. It was like, okay, has this guy achieved what I want to achieve? Yes. Is there proof that he has helped others? Yes. Do I like this guy? No, I don't like this guy. Like, I don't like his personality. I think he's not a good coach. The way he communicates with his client, I don't like it. But hey, he's you know, like, his clients have results, so I'm gonna invest in him. Okay, 6K, boom. And it was really, really difficult to make the most out of that program because I was afraid to speak with him. I was just afraid because I was like, I'm gonna say something and he's gonna judge me. He's gonna judge me because I've seen him judge other clients. That's a dumb question. Why are you asking me that question? Right? So I learned. So I have to like the coach. If I like the coach and I feel comfortable, has to be those three criteria. So if that's there, boom, I go.
Good. Take notes,
You
guys.
can,
Also,
and
there's
you
two
can use
questions.
that on the calls as well. In your calls, you can use that. I've used. Oh, I just knew about you 2 days ago. You know, and I help them with. I use that criteria. It's like, do you have a criteria to know whether you should trust someone or not? I don't. Okay. What? How about we build someone? We build one together. Okay, let's build it. Okay, boom, boom, boom. That sounds like good criteria. Yes. Okay, just use it against me. Use it against the brand that I represent. That's it.
Nice. Aryan, you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question. Hello, Paulo.
Hello,
Good to see
hello.
you here. I've been in Canary Islands just a couple of weeks ago, so
I
it's
saw
really
that. That's
crazy.
amazing, man.
Yeah, it's cool. And just for everyone, maybe doesn't know where is Canary Islands, just a small place over there. Now, imagine if this guy is gonna make it. Oh, definitely everyone can. So good.
Yeah.
My question for you is, because you mentioned before about putting yourself in difficult situation, hard situation, and about the filtering on the people that you want to work with. It was about them putting you, in a bad position, right? And I believe, in my opinion, like, how would you go through this, right? The other side is putting yourself in bad positions, and then let's say you have a coach who's putting you on that bad position. Like, how do you go through this?
Can you rephrase your question or ask in a different way, just to make sure I'm getting it?
Yeah, no worries. So the is one side of putting yourself on a difficult situation, and there is the other side of not putting yourself in a difficult situation with a coach. So how would you actually know, if it's a good thing for you?
If it's a good for me, if it's a good thing for me, what? Putting myself, investing in a mentor?
Not investing in a mentor, but on that mentor who's gonna put you in a difficult situation. Like, how would you know if that difficult situation is the right one for you? That's my question.
Well, what are you? Okay, so then I would ask, what am I optimizing for, right? So why am I hiring this coach? What do I want to get from it? I want to learn sales. Okay, awesome. So is this coach putting me in a position where every time I interact with this coach or every time I receive anything from him, is he serving that mission, right? If is he helping me move forward? Yes, 100%. Awesome. Number two, is he doing it in a way that is helpful for me, that works for me, that makes the most out of me? No, because he's bullying me all the time. Okay, so maybe wrong coach, because he doesn't help me. But this other coach is inspiring me. It doesn't make me feel judged. It puts me in uncomfortable situations with the feeling of safety that he's going to be there if I make a mistake. There's no problem. There's no judgment. Great. Awesome. This is the best coach I ever had.
Okay. So it's like having that coach who puts you in difficult situation without judgment, basically.
So not necessarily without judgment, is the how he's putting you in a difficult situation has to have utility to you. So if you insult me because I ask a dumb question, it doesn't matter how I feel. What matters is that it's not helpful for me. It's not useful that you insult me when I ask a question. And because it's not useful, I'm not making the most out of the situation.
Okay, got it. No, I appreciate that. Good.
You got
Is
it.
it okay if I ask another one?
Yeah, I'm good. Like that's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
Feel it.
yeah.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Because I've been looking at you quite some time. You are a coach as well, right? So it's like, how do you go through? Because I'm sure you ask some difficult questions, even to the prospects as well, and even to the people you work with. How would you go through or let me frame it better. If you put your students in an uncomfortable situation and then they kind of, go off track, how would you go through this?
If they go off track, how do
They
you mean?
don't take it in the right way.
They don't take it. They get offended. You mean, for example?
No, not necessarily offended, but it's like they put them on really uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, I don't want to put my students in a situation again that is going to be detrimental for them. That is not going to be useful, right? So, for example, there are some students that I know I have the trust in the relationship. I can push them, and they've told me, "Please push me," and they're good with it, right? But I've also been with students or with clients in the past that they've said, "Paulo, like that thing that you made me do the other day in the coaching call, that was really uncomfortable, and it didn't really help me. Like I was all day staring at night, like I was vomiting the very next day. It was too much attention for me, right? It's like, okay, no worries. So I didn't know that. Now I know. I apologize. I'll make sure I don't do that again. Let's find another way to better help you out." So for me, what I do is I take full responsibility. If someone just trusts me and invests in my program or hires me invests in me as a mentor, it's just like I want to know exactly what is the best way and how your brain works so that we can extract all your potential together. Right? So I will take the time to really understand that, and I will make mistakes because I'm not perfect, of course. But I will always try to take full responsibility if I am the one leading. if in that relationship, I am supposed to be the guy leading. That's how I do it. There are other coaches that are like, if you don't like it, just ask for a refund. Fuck it. This is how I coach. But hey, who am I to judge? That's there's different ways.
Fair enough. Sergeant, you have a question? Feel free.
Yes, I do have a question. Hello, Paul. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
First question would be like, who was or who is your first mentor?
My first mentor in general, my first mentor in sales.
No, your first mentor, like you like it, that you like them. Like
in general, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the first person that I started learning from in my career was from Robert Kiyosaki. Mm-hmm. Because the first thing that got me into this journey was the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Dad. That's how I just sort of like got into everything. So that was the first person that I really started learning from when it comes to becoming, successful, wealthy, rich, Yeah, that was my first experience.
So I assume you like them, right? Like them a lot, right?
Well, I don't know him, I don't know what I consume from him because I never got into a coaching program. Like I read his book and I read I started studying, his teachings in that sense.
Yeah. So who was your first mentor? Like when you get into the like mentorship with him, or you know him? Did you know your first mentor?
My first mentor like coaching was the first one. Yes, exactly. The first one was Frank Kern. Because when I started my journey, I wanted to build my own business. I came across him and other marketers, and I decided to go with Frank Kern. Yeah.
Okay, and he was in sales, right?
No, he was a marketer.
Marketer, and who was?
Like, are you referring my first sales sales mentor?
Sorry, I didn't.
Cole Gordon.
Cole Gordon, nice. And did you ever talk with him, like one-on-one?
So essentially, RCA, so Remote Closing Academy, like the program that he had is not doesn't exist anymore. Like he's not, he shut it down. But you didn't have access to him. He was doing one group coaching call a month, I believe. But the rest was with CSM, a coach, etc. Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned like a bit ago, like you have to like your coach, like to be like very constructive to you, right?
Yeah. Like in my experience, that's my criteria. Like I have to like the way he does what I want to achieve, but also the way he interacts with his clients. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, when your mentor, like I mentioned, yeah, you like him, and then he gives you like very constructive critic or feedback. How did you feel by then?
How did I what?
How do you feel? Like, do you feel offended, or how do you take it? Like those constructive feedbacks.
Good. That's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah. So you never been offended by that?
What was that?
You never been offended by that constructive critics, no?
No, of course not. But we need feedback to grow.
Okay, thanks. That's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, of course. So I'm not saying that I was getting offended in that experience that I was explaining. I'm not saying that I was getting offended because my coach was giving me feedback, because that's why I go for a coach. What I was saying is I didn't like the way this particular coach was communicating his coaching and his feedback with his clients, like the way he was coaching.
Okay. So okay, I'm asking that because like everyone on this planet can be coachable. It's just up to coach and his approach. So do you agree with me?
Can you say that again? Sorry, I didn't get you.
Sorry. Okay. So I think everyone on this planet can be very coachable. It's just not about person who is learning. It's about coach who is giving and his approach, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, in order for you to learn, you have to be coachable. Like if you're not coachable, there's no way. That's on you. It's like, hey, you're not being coachable. But if you're coachable, so that we assume that is on the table, then the next thing is, of course, this coach coaching you. What is he coaching you on? That will be one thing. It's like the type of feedback and coaching he's giving you. But the other thing that for me is important is how is he delivering that?
Definitely. How to be delivering, yeah.
Yeah. So just to put like a black and white example, right? You can have.
Yeah, like he cannot deliver to everyone same way. Like everyone has like own thinking and how they think like personally on each person. And coach supposed to know like some kind of psychology, right? And know how to approach the different people. Do you think that something makes sense?
It makes sense to me. To me, it
That's
makes
what I
sense.
wanted to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. But you know that there are some coaches that are like, no, I'm not gonna adapt to your learning. Like you either like the way I coach or you just get out.
Yeah, I know, and that's not coach for me then.
Yeah. Also, there's people like that. They
Yeah.
exist in the world, and that doesn't mean they're bad people. It's just like, hey, they just
Of
decide
course,
to. But for me, it doesn't work. Like for me, it's just like if I come and I ask a question and I feel condition, just because I'm asking a question, like for me it's not helpful. It's just like I might as well be in a situation or in a group where I'm welcome. It's like, yeah, just come here, like, but if I'm in a room where someone says to me, only ask a question if it's going to be a question. Don't ask me dumb questions, okay? Like for me it's just like that's not going to work for me. Like you and I'm not going to have a good relationship together.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
That
You
also
got it.
reminds me when they say, it's much better to close something that you already use or that you really, really believe into. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Can you say that again?
People say that it's much better for you to close on an offer that you're already using, that kind of services or products, and that you really believe into. That your results will be much better and you're gonna stay much longer. What are your thoughts on that?
100% agree. Yeah, because of the conviction, right? You can make up. You can make, and I've seen this multiple times. You can make up for lack of skills with passion and conviction. And well, I'm pretty sure you've seen it too, Philip, as well.
Mhm.
Have you seen it? Have you seen people that they are not very good, they're super passionate and super convicted?
Definitely. That helps so much. People would be so surprised.
Yeah.
Andy asked, out of sales management, sales coaching, and closing, what do you prefer and why?
Coaching and closing, I like it. Management is it's good as well. Like, man, which one do you prefer? Like, I don't know. I do the three of them. I've done the three of them, right? So you have to give me more context, Andy. It's like, because if it's just like, which one do you prefer? It's like I prefer, either, like all of them. I mean, like I can close, and that's, for example, if you tell me, hey, you're gonna train a team, 5 closers. I'm gonna pay you 5K per month plus 2% of what they generate, and they're in the companies at 200K per month, for example. But then if you tell me, hey, I have a closing role here where the worst guy in the team, we're 4 guys, and the worst guy is making 40K per month with a 20% close ratio, and the minimum ticket is 75K, then I'm gonna go closing. Right? So it depends on the context.
Georgie asks, how did you get into your first seller's position?
My first seller position was passionate one, actually. It was passionate one, and essentially I just reached out to, they put a post. It was very complicated, super complicated. They put a post, I applied, they follow it up, they gave me a screening interview, and I landed the position.
Aryan asks, how long did it take for you to find your closing style?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good question. Yeah. Um, I believe that there was I don't know, say a good 8 to 12 months, almost like a year, just really, because I did, as I mentioned, I did CG, Cole Gordon, right? So, well, before that, when I was just trying to do my own business, I did Sam Owens. If there's an OG here that did Sam Owens, he gives you a script. He would give you a script there, and he would teach you how to do high ticket sales, right? So I had that, but obviously that was just like, just not even one module. It was like one lesson. It was good, but don't get me wrong. But then I went into Cole Gordon, and still with Cole Gordon, it was a good foundation, but I had a lot of question marks, a lot of like gaps that wasn't for me. And that's why I continued to invest in myself, and I couldn't find it until, maybe 8-12 months. I started to find, like a way, like a style of closing. So yeah, and I believe I am still on the journey of refining it and perfecting it. Yeah. By the way, Philip, can I ask you questions as well? Because, for example, I will be curious about you. Like, how long did it take you? Just
Hey, yeah. I would say it's not about the time, it's about the offers. So when I was, Jeremy Miner, Ken from Shark Tank, and those few other offers, they all have very different style of selling e-com, Amazon stores for 50K, that kind of stuff. And you take one or two things from each offer. Jeremy has great at the end closing questions. This guy has this guy says that. And at the end of the day, it's about the offer and also the person. Is it an AI personality, somebody who's younger, you have more authority on them? But I would say my personal opinion is see what the top closer does, do like word for word, or try to shadow him as much as you can. And after a month or two, when you have some foot in the door, then you can implement some things and change. Also, my next question is you're also hiring people, and what are you looking for in your ideal people that are applying for the position?
Well, when I'm doing recruitment for clients, they give me criteria, and if they don't give me the criteria, I ask them for a criteria, right? So I do it based on their criteria. But if I was hiring for my team, I would just go off of the need of the offer, because a lot of times, for example, when I was leading the Bastions B2C at the beginning, and it's just the process. I made a lot of mistakes as a recruiter, right? And then that's how I learned. So for me, the biggest thing, the biggest, well, it depends, because here's the thing, it depends on where the business is at. Here's the reason why. If I am building a new team, and I am given the bandwidth to build the team, okay, then I'm going to focus on character traits and not necessarily skill and experience, because I am a sales trainer, so they are a blank canvas. But if I am in a team that is like, bro, you need to build a team in 30 days, I don't have time. Like, I just don't have time to paint a blank, to draw on a blank canvas. So then I'm going to be very, very tight in my recruiting process, and I'm going to do a recruitment process that is super mega strong. Yet I'm going to be super slow to hire and very fast to fire. And I'm not going to do a screening interview and basic skill assessment. No, like if I'm in that situation where it's like my reputation is on the line, I need to build the best team ever. My freaking skill assessment is just gonna be me being a think about it objection. I have to pray on it. I have to do 3 backflips and find the 6 infinite gems of the Marvel movies, and you have to close me. You know what I mean? It's just like, and if you don't close me, then this is not gonna be. I'm gonna do it very difficult, because again, like, I don't have time to train you. So you have to be good, or it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
In that sense.
I know a lot of offers, their cost per acquisition is $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for one client, so they cannot risk.
Yeah.
It was a little bit newer. And how can someone stand out in their application or on their interviews? What would you say?
That's a good one, right? I know what you do. I know what you do. I have, I have I have ears. No, I'm just kidding. You you trying to stand out in the application process maybe is the very thing that is preventing you from standing out, because you're just going through the typical process. Maybe if you just go through a different process, you just like throw them off track, then you just simply stand out just by just simply doing that, right? Because the thing, and I learned this in marketing. I don't know from who. It's like when it comes to getting attention, different always gets attention, but better doesn't. So different is better than better when it comes to getting attention.
That's
right?
Great quote.
So if you want to get attention, just be different, just do something different, and you're gonna get the attention. And then it's up to you what is that you do with that amount of attention, with that opportunity of attention opportunity. So yeah, you could just try things in there to fill out the application in a way that stands out, and just be creative, whatever. Or you could just simply find the manager, the sales manager. You can find it if you just put in the work and you just ask some people and just research very well. You find the manager and you go, hey, how much do you pay for a referral close? I don't know. What do you ask? He's gonna reply to you. Because I have someone wanting to pay and I don't have the payment link and I want to know how much do I get if I close the guy. Fuck. What are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like, what? It's like, yeah, I figured I will close someone from before applying to become a closer just to prove that I can do it. So yeah, if you send me the link, I can just give you a sale. For example.
That's a great, yeah. Pattern interrupt. What do you say?
I'm sorry, one more time. How did you say different gets better attention then?
Different different will always get, no, what did I say? Different will is better than better when it comes to getting attention. So if you have to choose between different or better, when it comes to getting attention, different will always beat better.
Yeah. Perfect.
You got it.
I'll write it down. Good job, Ross. I see you're writing down everything. Yeah, it was so good. You need to watch the recording, so you'll see once again.
Yeah.
But probably there's some kind of quote like that. Also, if anyone has any question, feel free to raise your hand or drop it in the chat if you cannot join or you're driving or whatever. So you can ask anything and everything here. Yeah, those golden nuggets. Let's say you were on a new team, you as a young closer, with things that you know right now. How can you be that top closer or get the most out of your potential?
That one is very easy. That's just look at who is the one who has performed the best in the team. Just ask the founder, ask the closers, like, hey, who's the best right now, and or who has been the best of all time here, and if still here, and just watch what that guy is doing and just do the same. Yeah, that's it. This is like get to the level of the first guy, and once you are that level, then you can just do whatever you want. But this is like you have a path blueprint there.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel just yet.
There you go.
What is your thought about multiple offers? Somebody says you should have multiple offers so you're more stable. Somebody says you should go all in on one. Somebody in the industry says if you're doing my offer a lot of calls, you only need us. Like you cannot have other things.
Yeah.
How do you see that situation? What would you recommend?
I understand the coaches or the people or the creators or the influencers that that put that message out there. I understand where they're coming from. It's not that it's like that doesn't make any sense. I understand what is it that they're trying to convey. And in some cases it makes all the sense. Like in some, depending on where you're at in your journey, it makes sense. I would agree. But eventually, to me, that's more like a symptom. Like if you have the belief that you have to be multiple offers, to me that's the symptom, not the problem. Because if you were in the right offer, you wouldn't need you like if you were in the right offer, you would have more leads than you could possibly imagine, right? And in my experience, and this is just my experience, okay? This is coming from what I've lived. In my experience, when I've me being dialed in and me sort of like being operating at the top of my potential has always been me fully focusing on one offer. But again, this is just my experience. Maybe I know there are other closers like June Choi and other closers that's like, no, I've been in 3 offers at the same time, bro, and just crushing it. So again, different experiences. For me, it's just like I would just rather take the time to find one great offer. One of the things that I do in RCS Academy, in the program that I have to help people get into the industry is I tell them just build a list of your dream clients. Just build a list of your dream clients and then just invest into them. Just be on top of them. Build a relationship because those clients will hire. Like there will be a moment that they will hire. Because the churn here is insane, right? So they will hire. So every closer that I know, no, not every closer, but the majority of the closers that I know that they started and then they took off, 10, 15, 20, 30K, right? They did it because they were in the right offer. At least the one that I know, I don't know if you too many closers, Philip, that they're making 30, 40K per month being in 3 offers at the same time. Maybe but yeah.
It's hard to do that for a long time. When they're younger, for a few months, yeah, it's manageable. But doing it for a year, 2, 3, it's so hard. Juggle multiple offers, especially because of the team meetings and the reports and all kinds of stuff. So
yeah,
if you can take it, great. If not, Dennis, you have a question.
Yes, nice to meet you, Paulo. It's
nice to meet you.
I have 2 questions. First of all, you said that you started as a setter, right? When got into sales. And what would be like the red flags when getting to a sales role?
The OTEs doesn't make sense. So they give you the OTEs. Your OTE is 20 to 30K. You go, okay, what's the revenue last month? What was cash? How much in commission did the setter? How much does your top performance setter? And if I were to be the top performance setter, what are the traits that you're looking for? And those traits are the traits that your setter has. Oh, okay, great. And then I have all that information and it doesn't add up. Yeah. It's like, okay, so the OTs you're saying is this and this, but you guys last month did 50K in cash, right? So how am I going to? It doesn't make sense, right? So I'll be very, very, very cautious there.
So what do you do to prevent that? You cannot.
No. So of course, like Philip, if you want to chime in, but for me, it's like you can't. You never know. It's like pretty much like hiring. Landing a position is pretty much like hiring. Also, like clients ask me, Paulo, what can I do? What questions can I ask? So I can have the perfect hire. Like that doesn't exist. It's just like you have to train the eye. You have to do a lot of recruitment, a lot of interviews, and then you have to hire and then fire. And then you will go, oh, now I've started to develop. So here will be the same. It's you need to develop the eye, the ear, ask really good questions. Pick the right type of clients or the type of companies. Make a decision, and just say yes, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then you go in and you look and you compare, what they say and what it is, or because sometimes they will promise you the moon. They will say, oh, my idea is you will come in and now I can increase the ad budget. If I increase the ad budget, this will happen and that will happen. And they are just selling you the cake, right? And then you just say, okay, I'm gonna believe this guy, and then it happens. But or I want to believe this guy, then it doesn't happen, So it's just like it's a process, That's what I would say.
Yeah. Have you ever been on like a bad offer, shit offer that, or bad employer?
Of course, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like I didn't land my first offer, my first client, and I make boom. Then no, I jump. In my case, I jumped through 3, 4 until I found the one, right? So I went into one, shit show. Okay, fine, not for me. Keep looking. Okay, went into another one. Good, but the guy's too early. Good. The guy's great leadership. Like he trusts me. It was more like a partnership rather than a factory type of offer. So that was good because I had leverage. But too green, too early, still figuring out ads. La da 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 da. The lead flow is not there. Whatever. Okay, next. Right. And then that's why, you know, some people ask me, okay, what do you prefer? Do you prefer like a partnership where with a business owner, a founder that's gonna hire his first closer, he's like at 50K per month, right? Or do you prefer like a factory offer where it's like 500K per month, 3 closers there, they have everything figured it out, just get a plug and play? What do you prefer? And to me, and this is just me, I would love to know Philip as well. To me, it's not black and white. To me, it depends. Why? Because the way things took off for me was with a partnership offer. You know, when I started with Bashan, the month I got in with Bashan was the very first month he did 100K or something like that. So I took him right before he was about to take off. So to me, it's just like, of course, like you just join into a factory type of offer where it's just like, hey, plug and play is easier if you have the skills and you're prepared. So don't get me wrong, both can work. But for me, it's not like a clear factory offer. You know, it depends. I would love to know, Philip.
Yeah, I would say if the offer is less than 80K, so much red flag. Like founders should do all the work unless they are like super successful business owner. They can throw in how much ad spend they want or whatever. It wasn't their focus in the
There's
first
more
time.
risk, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they need to have some track record, like big organic leads that are not they're untouched, big groups, you know, organic stuff, multiple omnipresence, all social medias. So watch for that. I prefer, you know, medium stuff, not like 3 million a month. A lot of like 400K to free closer. That's the sweet spot. It's still like you can, you know, good atmosphere. You can do what you want. It's not corporate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's but you need to check all those boxes and see what works for you and what you have available. Mr. Singer, it's your turn. Feel free.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My question to Paulo is that you said you made your first business was in marketing. My question is, did you do outbound calling?
No, I didn't. I was. You mean when I was trying to build my own business in Spain back then?
Yes. So when you reached out to clients, did you do like outbound cold calling or like another way?
Hold on. Can you rephrase your question? I'm not sure if you referred to my first venture when I was trying to become an entrepreneur, or when I was trying to become a closer.
No, in your first venture, when you were trying to be an entrepreneur,
I was running ads.
running ads. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Young guy with very naive, just believing, I'm going to invest in ads and I'm going to get 4x back.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it.
Georgie asks, how do you position yourself within a company so that if somehow you lose the offer, you're able to get referred to another one? Interesting question.
How do you position yourself with a company so if somehow you lose the offer, you mean once you're already in, right?
Probably, yeah. Georgie, you can.
Yeah.
You can clarify, you can do it, but pretty much, yeah, how to have a great connection with them, you know, and get referrals from them or some kind of video testimonial.
Yeah. Well, the way that I like to go into an offer is just thinking the opposite, right? So it's just literally thinking like, why would it's like they are gonna want to keep me forever. You know what I mean? It's just like that's not my mindset. But regardless of that, and this is something that I always say to every closer that I get in contact with, especially if I'm working with a closer, if I am the manager or he's like a peer or whatever, is always end on a good note. Like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care what are the terms, even if the terms are bad. Even if the terms are bad. This is my opinion on the matter. Okay, you can just do whatever you want. This is just my opinion. It's like, even if the terms are bad, just always end on a good note, because you never know. You never ever know. This world, it looks immense, but sometimes I feel that it's too small. And the amount of times that I've ended a relationship or I've parted ways with someone, and you know, things have circled back or we've crossed paths again. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So for me, it's just like, you know, leave the ego aside. Just try to don't be a people pleaser. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't allow people to cross your boundaries, but always live with value. Like, exit the relationship with value. For example, I like this offer. Instead of just jumping out of it, yeah, I'm not, put me out of the calendar, I'm not going to come. Instead of doing that, which is horrible and it's going to contaminate your name in the industry and your name goes across, it's like, find someone else, interview the person. Hey, this doesn't make any sense, but here's what I've done. There's another person. I really believe he can do it really well. He can take over the next 7 days. I train him and then I'm out. For example, right? Man, it's just, for me, it's just insane the amount of goodwill that gives. Because even if you don't go back to the offer, that entrepreneur will speak good about you. Very good.
Reputation is so important. We have a few more minutes. Do you have a hard stop or?
No, I don't. But you do. Do you have a hard stop? I can do a couple of minutes if you want, like
I
10
know.
or so.
Everyone, now is your chance. So speak whatever you want. Ask any questions. So we'll get answer firsthand. Oh, Mihailo, let's hear it from you.
Hi, Paulo. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I have two questions that are kind of related. So, how long did it take you to move from setter to closer, and what were the most important steps to move from setter to closer?
Okay, my situation was a little bit unique, right? And this is something that I always recommend. Now that I did that, because I don't know if you guys know Marco Cortese. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Okay, so I worked with Marco in the past, and when I was working with him, I was the setter, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, hey, Marco, like, I want to be a closer. I did this, that. I was asking him for advice, and he said, well, why you apply for a setter position? You just started shooting yourself in the foot. And I was like, oh, because I was insecure, la da da da. And he told me, I remember he told me, dude, are you hearing my English? You know, so I was like, oh, okay, fine. Right. So he told me, dude, just don't shoot yourself in the foot. Just go straight for whatever you want, right? And I get it. I understand that. But for me, it was valuable. For me, it was super valuable starting as a setter. So, but here's what I did. That's why I said my situation was unique. But I encourage everybody to do this if you want to take this path. One of the biggest reasons why they gave me the role is because in the interview process, the guy told me, why should I hire you over the next candidates? And I was like, because I'm not here to be a setter, bro. I am a closer. Like, I'm overqualified for this position. The reason why I am here is because you don't need a closer, you need a setter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, I'm going to be the best fucking setter in the team, and then I'm going to train someone to do the level of performance that I'm doing, so that then I can jump into a closer. So I'm going to generate my own closing position.
Mhm.
And he was like, fuck, okay, you're hired. You know? So I started as a setter already letting them know that that wasn't the goal. That the goal was for me to increase the performance of the setting team, so the next closing position is for me. So something like that is, I would recommend to do that as well, because that way also you show them your vision. It's like, I'm gonna come here to add more revenue, more cash, even an extra division, an extra revenue center for the company. So that way you just like boom. And it's very rare that they say, we don't want that. We don't want. Yeah, it's very rare that they say that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
You got it.
Any other last questions? I would also say about Justin, it will be with you in a sec. I'll say, if you ask me, from my experience, it really depends on your personality and also what kind of you know, CV you have, background, access to offers. So it's much faster to start as a setter nowadays because everybody wants to be a closer. There's so many coaches. Get experience. You know, there are a lot of lazy fat cat closers that they say they don't know anything else about, you know, just inbound stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, it's so important, especially in B2B, to generate your own leads, to follow up, send emails, upsells, downsells, cross sells. So it is
Yeah.
very important. I mean, you can do just one thing, just close. It is
Mhm.
very important, but it's only like 20-30% of the whole
Yeah.
whole piece of the pie. And in the 5-10 years, whatever, when you want to be a business owner, then you need even more skills, and it will help. You know, always need to be on meetings, set meetings, and etc.
And you can
Just
compensate your lack of skills as closing with those soft skills as well. You might not be the best closer, but your calendar is always full. Why? Because you know how to self-set. And now you're beating the top closer, not because you're a better closer, but because you have more opportunity, because you know how to set. And that then the top closer, he has never said anything. He always had everything given to him. For example.
nowadays, in a lot of industries, you have 50-60% closer show up rate. So half of your day is empty. So if you're lazy, you won't make much money. But if you're proactive, go through LinkedIn, Facebook groups, you can make much more money than the closers who are just like doing basic stuff. Justin,
Can you hear me? Oh shoot, my mic was off. My bad. How you doing, Paulo?
Hey, yo, your background is amazing, man.
Gracias, gracias. I also speak a bit of Spanish.
Ah, qué bueno, nice.
Yeah. So, in terms of my only question, it wasn't really a question. Is would it be like a good spot to reach out to you, like use any social profiles, a good place to get in touch, or
Yeah. If you just gotta hit me up.
in the chat, how can people, if they want to work with you, and how do you have an Instagram
Yeah,
page?
you know, of course, like I'm stacked, but if you know, just send me a WhatsApp, and I'll if you need anything, I'll shoot you a voice note or something. All good. You can follow me on paulo.remote-leaders if you want the IG page. But I have a setter. There. So I'm not there. So that's why I'm giving you my WhatsApp.
no worries, appreciate it. Yeah, it's just a good spot to kind of get in touch.
You got it.
Also, my brother, thank you for your time.
Thank you, man. It was amazing.
DM me for the recording. It'll probably be on the YouTube, also in the Telegram and WhatsApp groups.
Sounds good.
Next week, enjoy.
Let's crush it, team. Let's do it.
Boom.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you.